What is up, guys? Back at it again with another room tour finally. Now, I haven't done one of these in well over a year. I believe the last time was May of 2021, and the primary reason for that is just because there hasn't really been any drastic change to the room setup or anything, but there are enough little things scattered throughout the room, new items and small changes and such, that, you know, screw it, let's do it again. So first off, before I start, this is kind of the office side of the room. I have the entire upstairs of my house. As you can see, the roof is angular, but on this side is the more bedroom side of the room, and I'm not going to go into detail with it because really it's not that interesting. It just has my bed and closet and stuff, and of course just the bookshelf on this side of this door, which just has my iPhone collection and, you know, boxes and all that other stuff. But other than that, it's really not that interesting, so we're not really going to take a look at that. But for this room, I'll go into detail, of course, and we will start over here by the door. As you can see here, it's, like I said, pretty much the same, but we'll go over it again. Here we just have this little table thing that actually used to be in our kitchen, but it's useful for storing stuff and whatnot. So on this, I just keep my day-to-day stuff, like my wallet, keys, Apple Watch, and, you know, my, like, work badge and stuff will go there also. So that's where I keep that stuff. On the right over here, we have a Google Nest Hub thingamabob, which I got for free back in Texas a long time ago. And I just pretty much use it as a fancy clock for aesthetic purposes, and literally nothing more. So as you can see, that little yellow light indicates that I have the microphone disabled, and so, like I said, it's just a clock, but I think it looks pretty cool there just to add some aesthetic to the room. We also have a fake plant over here. And yeah, there's another one over there, which we'll get to, but yeah, that's pretty much all that's up here. Of course, up here we just have my calendar, a light, obviously, and some license plates. And then this is actually the control for the lighting up there on the walls. I'll go ahead and turn it off. As you can see, turn it back on. It just has a remote switch, which is actually over there on the ground. So that's kind of neat. Other than that, going over here, we have another little storage shelf type of thing. It just has a power strip on it, so I can charge up some devices and such, and a Dell Axim PDA on it that someone sent me for free. Or not for free, I believe I paid for it, but yeah, I made a video on that a long time ago. But there it sits. There is the Macintosh SE, which I've had for quite a while. Still works as far as I know, but again, it's kind of just like a showpiece. Got some floppy disks and stuff over there, just some random parts and whatnot down there. And on the actual shelves, I just house my laptops, so all this top shelf is pretty much all just MacBooks and Macbook Pros, as you can see, and then down there are the Windows laptops of different varieties. Pretty much made videos on all of these, so yeah, not going to go over that again. Forgot to mention, in this little storage thing here, we just have mostly, this side is just going to be laptop and phone chargers, and then this is like CPUs, RAM, and then some tools for working on computers. And here, more of the same. This is all kind of software, and then just other random stuff, hard drives and whatnot, just computer parts thrown in there. Moving on over here, this is the first desk in the setup. This is pretty much just kind of like the test bed, or the spot where I work on computers and such, so it's not a primary setup, but here it is. On it we have the mid-2010 Mac Mini. I have this set up right here just so I can pull up like little teardown guides and whatnot, or YouTube videos or whatever when I'm working on a computer, so just decided to set that up there. Got some MacBook chargers over here. This is my primary use laptop, the 13-inch M1 MacBook Pro. Really like it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be upgrading to the 14 inches that are coming out later this year or not yet, but for now this thing does a great job, so there it sits. Over here we have my 2013 15-inch MacBook Pro, which I really don't use anymore, but it was my main computer for several years, and I like it, so I'm not getting rid of it. Over here we just have some office supplies and stuff, you know, tape, stapler, pens and whatnot. Not too interesting, but there you have it. Got some old earpods here. And that's about it for the top of this desk. Down here we have the printer stand, and all it has on it is just some more Dell laptops, and then there are random junk in that side, and then this side just has my files and stuff in it, which I'm not going to show for obvious reasons. Over here, another storage type device. In the top, we just have a bunch of random junk. You're noticing that's going to become a theme. But yeah, in here, again, more random junk. Just chargers and cables and cell phone cases and whatnot. So, wow, alright, that was interesting. Getting back in there. There's a laptop bag there, and that's about it for this desk. Now we're moving into the primary setup. Of course, this is my IKEA Galant desk, which I've had for quite a while, almost 10 years now, so it's been a great desk. On it, we have my 2019 Mac Pro. As you can see, it runs the setup, of course. This is my primary computer, and definitely the most expensive. But there it is, the 2019 Mac Pro. It is hooked up to two 24-inch Dell monitors, I believe. They are 1440p each and have very nice thin bezels. Of course, I couldn't afford the Pro Display XDR, so this is the next best thing. There is the Ducky One mechanical keyboard and the Logitech G502, I believe, mouse. Yep, the G502. I don't really care for the Apple peripherals, so I don't use them in a primary setup like this. There is the control for the IKEA Dioder LED strip. As you can see, it's a little funky. It's been pretty old, but it still works. And then behind there, we just have a Western Digital backup hard drive, which I solely use for time machine backups. So there's that for the primary computer there. On the side, we have two Klipsch audio speakers here. I just picked these up actually a couple of months ago. I got rid of the amplifier setup with those crummy Bose speakers that I've had for years, so we no longer have an amp or anything sitting under the desk of that, so that's nice. And these speakers sound better too, so that helps as well. Over here we just have the remote for those speakers and an iPhone 8 that I just picked up a couple of days ago for nostalgic purposes. Of course, this was one of my favorite phones, so I bought another one on Swappa just to have. So there it sits, because I'm still playing with it. Over here we just have my water bottle and some microfiber cloths and the AirPods, which I use the crap out of. Really like these. Right here is just my iPhone 13 Pro. I just got this about a week ago. Still absolutely love this phone. There will be a full review coming on it, so stay tuned for that. And on the right side, like I said, just that speaker, a couple of little knickknacks below this monitor, and some hand cream because I work a construction job and my hands get absolutely trashed. Up here we have the Samson CO1U Pro microphone for Discord and such, which I don't use too often, but it's there if I need it. There's that. Let's go ahead and go under the desk real quick. As you can see, it's a little bit cleaner under here. We no longer have that big amplifier for the speakers just because they're computer speakers. I really don't need that functionality. So these actually do have quite a few inputs on the back and whatnot, but I just run them over USB to the Mac Pro. So it is nicer under here. We still do have my 100 watt subwoofer, which are plugged into the Klipsch speakers. That still works absolutely fine. Got a pillow to rest my feet on. A trash can that's full of crap that also kind of looks like a Mac Pro, which is the reason I still have it. I think that's kind of funny. And back there we have the APC back UPS 1500. Like I said, backup UPS for the Mac Pro. The power does go out several times a year around here, especially when the storms start happening. So this being a Mac Pro does not have a backup battery like a laptop would. So I got that a couple of months after getting it just so the Mac Pro does not shut off randomly when the power goes out and is protected somewhat from power surges. So that's that. Back there we have the Western Digital MyCloud 4100 NAS that I've had for a couple of years now. So that's just chilling back there. And then of course just power strips and wires and cables and things to run the setup. I did actually install this IKEA cable management device. Not really sure if I had that in the last video or not, but that does help hide some of the cables down here so it actually still looks fairly clean. There we have a tower heater because it does get a little chilly up here in the wintertime. And then a box with, again, more junk in it, some alcohol, and then that's my camcorder bag. So that's pretty much it for the primary setup. I really enjoy this, and so that's why I haven't really changed it at all. So there you go, that's the Mac Pro setup. Above that, we have my iPhone boxes collection. So we have the newest 13 Pro on that side, but then it goes from the 8, 7, 6S, and all the way down to the 4S, I believe. So that's cool. Of course, we do have the same thing over there, which I'll get to. But yeah, there we have a thermometer, just so I can see how hot it is in the room at this moment. And then a like a stock photo of my car that I pulled out of a magazine that Honda sent me. So there's that. just a clock and a license plate up there, no big deal. And then moving over here, we have my custom build setup, which I don't really use too often, but I keep it around for the few occasions that I want to play games. So that's another IKEA desk. I believe this is the Bacant, and it's not an L desk like this one, but the color does match and everything, so there's that. Again, this is my 4790K custom PC. I've made a couple of videos on this, so I'm not going to go into detail, but there she is. It's hooked up to a Samsung monitor and my old peripherals. So this is solely used for gaming or, you know, whenever I need Windows for something, which isn't very often, so it mostly just sits here and looks pretty, but that's that. Of course, it does have some Logitech speakers. Got my old Audio-Technica ATH M50 headphones, which I don't really use anymore, but there they are. On the right side of this desk, we also have the Linksys router that runs my secondary home network. I mostly keep this up, one, because I have this router and I don't want it to go to waste, and B, for older devices that really don't support like AC Wi-Fi and stuff. So there's that. Above here, we just have the more iPhone boxes and a first-gen iPad, like I mentioned. So, you know, I gotta have consistency across the room, as you can see. So there's that. There is an ECU out of my 1998 Accord that we took out when we manual swapped it. I just think I thought it looked cool, so I pulled the top plate off it and hung it on the wall. And then just a picture of my mom and I. So there's that. Over here we have a LG air conditioner, which I have been using the hell out of lately because it's been pretty warm here in California lately, but that's just ran out the window like that. Of course, you know, an in-window unit would be better, but these windows are just not practical for that. So there she is. Back there, we have a lamp, of course, and then the Mac Pro box, which I'm keeping for obvious reasons. So there's where that sits. Moving on this side, we have another desk. This is just like a, you know, tertiary desk, I guess you could call it. It has my Dell Optiplex 9020 on it, which I don't really use too much. Like I said, it just pretty much sits. But I got the complete Dell setup here. Got a Dell monitor and keyboard. I actually stole the mouse for it right now, so that shows you how much I'm not really using it. But yeah, I built this desk many years ago, and I used to use it here as my main, but here it sits now. On the right side over here, you can see we have some of my iPhone collection and a couple of Android phones. This is a very small portion of my phone collection, but those are the newest devices, so I keep them in here. Down here, more junk, like I said, another power strip, and a couple of old Dell computers, which you guys will no doubt probably recognize. But there's that. Got a Vornado fan, because like I said, it's warm in here at the moment, so there's that. And we're going over to this other desk. So this is probably the nicest secondary desk I have, which I actually got for free, but it serves as the home for my late 2013 MacBook iMac Pro, or not even, geez, wow, okay, it's a late 2013 iMac, that's it. It does have my Mac Pro keyboard and mouse hooked up to it, so that's that. Another fake plant over here, and a light, and then over there is just some books and things for the certification I'm studying for my job. So that's kind of what I use this. This is kind of like the study desk. Over here on the right side, we have my Brother wireless printer. It is black and white. I don't print very many things, so there it sits. It is on standby, though, waiting to be used. Over here, just more junk kind of piled in the middle of the room. I got some posters that I haven't hung back up yet, and then some other junk over there, which I'm not going to go through. So there's that. A couple of posters on the wall, and that is about it, to be honest. That is the complete setup for this side of the room, which, like I said, is the most interesting side, so that's the side I made a video about. Don't think I missed anything important, so with that said, I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.